How fast is Mario in Super Mario Wonder? Well, in short, his speed is about 5.7 blocks per second at full walking speed and about 12.1 blocks per second at full running speed. He is the same speed as Small Mario, Big Mario, and Fire Mario. And Luigi is about the same speed as Mario in all those combinations as well. So let's dive into it. Firstly, I tested this in the second course of the game, World 1-2. What's special about this one is that it has note blocks, the colored blocks that help you jump higher. These blocks help in measuring speed, as when Mario walks on them, they get pushed down, which upon further inspection is actually instant, one frame to another. This is very useful, as I can tell when Mario first stepped on the block. Knowing this, I can record frames and tell how many frames transpired between the first block and the last block. Knowing the number of blocks, which is distance, and the number of frames, which is related to time, I can calculate speed. In terms of distance, I'm running over 19 blocks here. But since I'm looking at when the note block gets pressed, the difference is 18 blocks. For time, this game runs at 60 frames per second. This means that each frame persists on your screen for about 16 milliseconds. If you took Mario 600 frames to cross some distance, it took him 10 seconds in time. So I can simply divide the number of frames by 60 to get the time. It took Mario about 89 frames to cross the 18 blocks when running, and 190 frames when walking. This translates to 1.5 and 3.2 seconds. This means that running increases your speed by more than 2 times. So the speed in blocks per second is just 18 divided by these times. It was interesting, but not too surprising, to see that Small Mario is the same speed as Mario after a mushroom. This is how jumping feels consistent. Luigi is the same speed as Mario, which is not necessarily the case for all games. It is much easier to test in 2D Mario, but usually Luigi feels faster but also slips more, but I can't seem to find much difference in this game. Some things to note from this data. I took 5 measurements of every combination, so 60 measurements altogether, to make sure to get more accuracy in my results. There is some inherent error, such as the time interval for every frame. I am essentially rounding to the nearest 60th of a second. Another note is that I use the D-pad rather than the analog stick to run here. This makes sure that I have the maximum possible running speed, as opposed to not being perfectly horizontal in the analog stick. I'm not really sure what the dead zones are in this game or in this console. One final note is that all these measurements are at full walking speed or running speed. I had to make sure that when running, the circle cloud behind Mario that you can see here was formed before he stepped on the first note block. This assures that he is at his full speed when measuring. This way, I don't need to take acceleration into account. I am interested to check acceleration in a later video, or negative acceleration specifically, as it feels like this game has less slipping behavior than New Super Mario Bros., for example. Hope this video was interesting, and next time I think I'll be looking at acceleration or deceleration.